Hey, my name is Andrew, and I'm here to tell you about some types of manipulative advertising. You're watching TV, and what happens? A commercial comes on. Who in their right mind will watch a commercial? Well, unfortunately, you decided to. Very soon after it comes on, you realize that it's one of those infamous Axe body spray commercials. You all know the ones where the guy apparently stinks, then he sprays himself with the body spray, and supposedly it attracts all the girls to him. Well, after that commercial comes off, it turns to the next advertisement, and you think to yourself, I wish all the girls would run up to me after spraying this magical spray. So with that in mind, you then go to the nearest Walmart or drugstore to buy some of this magic body spray, and then spray it on yourself. But guess what happens next? Absolutely nothing. You just ended up wasting $5 on something that doesn't bring any women to you, and were just manipulated by advertising. I bet most of you have been negatively manipulated by advertising at some point in your life. I know I have. But there is one simple thing to remember when buying something from an advertisement, and I identify it as simply being the golden rule. The golden rule is very easy to follow, and it basically says, if it seems too good to be true, it most likely is. It's a very easy rule to follow, but most of the time it's broken by many people who are just too easily persuaded into buying a bad product. Well, here's a couple of examples. One is negative manipulation and one is not. This one is for anyone who has ever eaten at McDonald's and ordered one of their infamous Big Macs. The #1 combo on the McDonald's menu is the Big Mac. The commercial of the Big Mac shows a burger that is very tall, juicy looking, dripping with the secret sauce, and shredded lettuce falling off the sides. But upon arriving to McDonald's and ordering a Big Mac meal, you open up the box to reveal what? A flat burger which is dry, has too much lettuce, and not enough sauce. You have basically just been scammed, but there's nothing you can do. On the other side of the advertising world, there are companies that are just great about their advertising, which tell 100% truth, and you can tell it just by listening to it. One example is the advertisements for the websites that help you find someone in your area qualified to do work, with reviews that tell how good and reliable they are. Those type of websites have nothing to scam from you and are not manipulation at all. On the upside, there is another type of manipulation, and that's called being positively manipulated. One example of this would have to be any toothpaste ad. Most toothpaste ads today show someone with bad teeth that look like they're basically rotting, but this toothpaste claims to help them, and it most likely will. It's not necessarily saying that your teeth will rot if you do not use this toothpaste, but the overall message is, if you do not use any type of toothpaste, your teeth will eventually rot and be useless. Then, another example of being positively manipulated is where you see the smoking advertisements. Yes, you may relate smoking advertisements to cigarette commercials where they somehow make you look cool. But no, I'm talking about the ones that show someone that's been smoking their whole life and the negative effects that happen to them. Specifically speaking, there's a new commercial for 2012 where there's a woman who is sitting in a hospital room. She looks very fragile and sick, and the only way she can communicate is through a small speaker system that projects her voice through her throat. There is also one of an old man who is in a wheelchair, only able to breathe with an oxygen tank. It's basically asking you if you want to live your life like that, and we all know you don't want to. That kind of advertisement positively affects you into not smoking anymore, thus extending your lifetime. So what did you learn here today? Number one, advertising is everywhere and has manipulated almost everyone at some point. Next, you have number two. There are two types of advertising, negative and positive. Negative is where the advertiser manipulates you into buying something that is ultimately useless. But then positive is an advertisement that manipulates you into buying something that will help you now and in the future. Then finally, number three is the golden rule. The golden rule is that if a product seems too good to be true, it most likely is, and you should try to avoid it. Following my advice can help you choose what to buy and saves you lots of money in the long run.